Okay, now we're going to talk about interactivity. So far we've been ignoring the draw function, but we're going to use it for the first time here. If you look to see what I have already in the setup function, I just have set up the size and I have the rectangle drawing mode set to center. And I'm simply going to, in the draw function down here, I'm just going to draw a rectangle. So RECT is the function, but for the x and y coordinates of the center, I'm going to use these special variables, mouse x, mouse y. I'll explain them in a second. And I think I'll just make it a 50 by 50 rectangle. Now, what this will do is this will draw a rectangle whose center is at the location of the mouse. So let's just run this, and once you see it, you'll see exactly what's happening. Okay, so if you look at the sketch there, you can see that we have a rectangle up in the corner there. We only see a quarter of it because the center is at 0, 0, which is by default where the mouse is if it's off the screen. But if I move the mouse onto the screen, that will change the x and y position of the mouse, and therefore it will change the position of the rectangle. And what the draw function does is the draw function runs over and over and over again, as opposed to the setup function, which just does things once. Any code in the setup function is executed only once. The code in the draw function is executed over and over again. So let's see what happens when I move the mouse in here. And you can see that since the draw function is going over and over and over again, each time it runs, it draws a rectangle at the position of the mouse. And you can see what's happening here. We get all these rectangles in different positions. Okay? Now, what would happen if I put the background command in here? Let's say a red background. Well, what will happen is that each time we go through the draw function, it's going to draw a red background, so it's going to wipe out the rectangle that was previously drawn. And the effect will be just a single rectangle that's following the mouse across the screen, because all of the other rectangles are wiped out each time by a new background. Let's take a look at that. Okay, there's the rectangle there in the upper corner. Now as I move the mouse around, what we have is just a rectangle that's following the position of the mouse.